Hey everybody, and welcome to replay analysis number 7. That's right. I already have done 7 of these. I've gone through a lot of them, and today we'll be looking at Dilgerer. He's didn't tell me his MMR in the post, but it's a normal skill. So I think it's like 3.4 and under, or 3.5 and under, so somewhere around there. He's going to be playing the Lion, and hopefully we'll go over this quite a bit. So. Already going to place the ward. Has both wards, actually. Can help secure the rune. And actually, planting both wards bot lane. This ward, definitely not necessary. Especially since you should know you'll be against a brood mother. Okay. And... Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and guess this is around 2k. Just by how the lanes are working out. It's going to be a mid Lion. Maybe even lower than 2k. He said, oh, okay, sorry, he's actually unranked, so probably lower than 2k is what we're looking at, in which case this is probably going to be hard to break down, but I'm really going to attempt to help him out a little bit here, and I'm going to get a little bit advanced, just because I'm hoping that other people will be able to get other things from this game as well, we'll just kind of break it down a little bit. So he's just going to go CS. We'll take player perspective, kind of see what he's looking at here, how he's doing. Not doing too poorly in terms of CS. Not doing too bad, yada, yada, yada. I don't mind Lion in mid lane whatsoever. If you play well. Actually stacked there. Okay, so probably around 2k, maybe 2.2, something like that. Weird laning. Maybe he just wanted to play Lion here. Hopefully he does the proper build. For those of you that play Lion, I see people maxing Hex all the time, and I really don't know why. It's really not worth it. 9 times out of 10, maxing Mana Drain is like really freaking good. It gives you a ton of lane sustain, since you'll probably be getting Tranquil Boots anyways, and doesn't tie there. Since you'll probably be grabbing Tranquil Boots, you'll most likely never have to be off the map, and it scales exceptionally well. It doubles every single time, and not to mention Hex is a really solid value point. Like 2.5 second disable is already really long. So, you know, bumping it up to 3 seconds, 3.5 isn't that great. The biggest thing is the fact that it has a lower cooldown. But even then, early on, you won't be in team fights that last that long anyways. The mana cost early on is kind of difficult to deal with, since you don't get mana boots online. You usually get tranquils and just max the mana drain. So hopefully we do that. We see 3 points into Impale, which is definitely the build you want to go for. So he's got 3 into Impale. And we'll see what else he's going to go for here. Just going to go for a Hex. Mana drain's really good for harassing, especially somebody like this Zeus. Mana draining him is absolutely huge. He's going to be useless in lane without any mana. It's really strong. I'm going to get a clarity. Probably didn't need it since he had a CM. Has his boots. Going for the wand next. I do like that. Definitely don't need to finish up the wand before the boots in this case. Gets a nice kill there. So a nice little pick off there. Now he's got his tranquils. Waiting for the courier to get to him. Gonna just keep pressuring out this lane. Didn't stack after that one time, which I'm not even sure it stacked. I think he missed it, because I think he did it at 53. Grabs the DD rune. Continues to push, and at this point, like, it's 10 minutes in. You can farm up your Blink Dagger, like try to farm up your Blink Dagger, but you're not going to pressure the lane that well. You got a DD, so like you're doing pretty good here, especially since you've got a Drow on your team. That's just like giving you a ton of damage, so... this is actually working out oddly enough. Almost, okay, there you go. You do die there, unfortunately, kind of far up. But realistically, you should probably just be rotating around at this point. Especially if you go with the Bloodseeker and he gives you Blood Rage and you do more damage with your abilities. Like, that's a lot of damage to deal with. You should probably grab a Dust, go to gank the Brood. You do go tops. There you go. Already going. Exactly what I was trying to get at. What did that guy say? Oh, okay. Probably gonna miss the Hex there, unfortunately, just mechanical things. You're doing the proper Lion build, which is good so far. Gonna grab the Invis rune, and you can't kill him without Finger, unfortunately. Oh, maybe you can if your team's there as well. Just barely getting out, so that was nice. Gonna get that, TP home, grabbing the Blink Dagger, and we'll see what happens after the Blink Dagger, because it's gonna be very important how you play this. A lot of heroes dying up there. I think this game was a loss. take a look at it again while this is going. Yes, it was a lost match. 51-minute game. They do lose. Unfortunately, they throw it near the end, it looks like. So we'll see how that goes. Another nice gank, and he's actually being very, very diligent with his ganking. So he's doing a good job so far of being all over the map, using finger when it's off of cooldown, TPing around, getting farm wherever he can. As you can tell, his build is unreal, and he never has to go home. The CM also helps a great deal with that as well. Moves back towards mid lane, and the moment of truth is coming up when he buys the blink dagger, warding up as well, so that's huge. He's doing a fantastic job of warding. Don't need a ward here though, if that's what he's going for. Yeah, okay, so the major thing I'm seeing right now is that the warding is not really all too effective. Like this ward, pretty good, that's fine, yeah, that can most likely net you a kill or something. This ward, not really going to do much for you. The Brood's invis down here as well. No idea what she's doing. Over here, this ward's nice. I'm not sure if that was you. I think it was. Yeah, it was you. So you've got some nice aggressive ward here. Here, you don't need it. I'd probably put it in their jungle, maybe somewhere around here, to help scout out around here, this camp. And if you can get a gank off that ward, that's huge. But you probably won't get one off the aggressive ward bot lane. So see how this goes. A little bit. Okay. So this is what I was hoping to take a look at. So with the blink dagger, when did he get this? He's getting it. No, he's already got it there. Wasn't really paying too much attention, obviously. Did he already have it when he placed that ward? No, he doesn't. So he bought it. Looks like it's getting ferried out to him. That's very dangerous. Could have been unfortunate losing that blink dagger. So now he's got it, and he still hasn't shown on the map, which is very, very important. He's coming up to this tower, and we'll pause this because he shows on the map. So this is very important. Whenever you buy a blink dagger, you cannot show on the map. I mean, you can, but you don't want to show on the map right away. You want to get a surprise blink out of it and a very easy gank. You want to get like as easy of a gank as possible out of it. So basically what you want to do is you want to at least have enough for blink TP. Perhaps even a smoke if you can farm it up. If you can get all three of those, buy blink, buy TP, buy smoke, and then just go gank. Or even if you're going to team fight, just like smoke up way behind the tower, where in day vision, it's not going to break. It's like, I think day vision's 1800, smoke break is about 1025 or something like that. So you can see them, and realistically they should be able to see you, but if you're smoked, you can stand on the outside and set up a really, really good blink impale, which is absolute, or earth spike, whatever it's called. Yeah, earth spike, which is absolutely devastating. If you can get up like 2 or 3 heroes, and honestly, that could be like team fight winning in itself, if you can do that. So I think that's very, very important, is to not waste the first blink dagger. Now they see you have it. Realistically, if it's unranked, kind of low skill, which it seems like it is, they won't click on you, most likely. They won't really pay attention to it anyways. And even if they do, they won't think about it too much anyways. But as you get better, as you go on, they will think about it. And that's something you should get used to right now, is buying a blink, buying a TP, buying a smoke, and either ganking with it or setting up a really nice blink stun. If they're paying attention to your items, like they should know that you'll have it around X minute anyways. Like usually if you see that he's got nothing, you should know. But it's just the fact that you don't want to give them the exact time that you've got it. Now they know you've got it, and potentially it's not going to be as effective, but that's no problem. We'll kind of see how it goes. Impale the creeps, not too big of a deal. Looks like everybody's still waiting to team fight mid. Now your whole team's here. Rupture was spent, but you guys are behind Serpent Ward, so you can't really follow it up. It looks like Shadow Shaman's going to die anyways here. Speed it up. Go back to you. Go back to your perspective here. Got a TP. Still probably don't know you have the blink, in all honesty, so you could go gank with it still. Everybody's just kind of sitting mid. So this happened in one of the other games that I had. Everybody just kind of wasted all the space they had. So there you go. You blink in. Just get the hex. Didn't even get the stun. Don't need it. Still got a nice double kill. So good job there. But the team isn't really spreading out all too well here. You're doing a good job of keeping your TPs up. Looks like you're trying to buy a glimmer. You're getting your wards. So itemization's looking fine to me so far. Everything's going well, except for, well, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, was that worth it? Shadow Fiend, just a little bit of a misplay. So we'll kind of go over this just because I think the only reason why it somewhat worked out was because it was a misplay. But you're not really a support. You're actually a mid hero, in which case you've now got 3 cores mid lane, and you're all kind of splitting up this farm, this EXP, which you really shouldn't be, in all honesty. And it's not so much you as it is like the other players, but when you're in this position, you kind of have to become the captain, which I've said in like every video so far, because realistically you do, and you have to just say like, hey Drow, or like, hey Bloodseeker, there's a ton of space in the jungle, you've got a nice defensive ward there, bot lane's pushing out, so you know nobody's there. You should just say, guys, like, let's split up and farm a little bit. Try to get, it's only 20 minutes in, so you can get as much out of your, you know, out of your advantage as possible here. This does work out because they're playing incredibly aggressively. The Shadow Shaman actually shouldn't have died here. He turns around for some stupid reason. Not sure what happens. You get a nice hex there. He goes down. Shadow Shaman thinks, hey, I'm going to drop wards. No idea what happened there. But realistically, like, these are things you have to learn now, so that later on, you don't have to worry about them. They just have to be natural to, you know, tell people or to yourself, go into the jungle, split up your farm. You guys are invading their jungle, which is very important. I think you get the finger there. Is he going to go down? Yes, he is. That's a nice little pick off there. So you're not doing too bad. You're 6-1-6. Obviously, this game does take a turn for the worse, though, and we'll kind of have to see why that is. Is right there, double kill. What happened there? Top lane? Is it the 2 supports? Drow low, Bloodseeker fairly low. Looks like, yeah, so they actually accidentally kill that CM. That's just unfortunate. He's got Aghanim Scepter, which is why it does so much damage, even though that item's really not that great. He does grab it up, kills your CM. You are just still split pushing bot lane. No big deals with that. No problems. Gonna TP home. Go back to player perspective. And you're just blinking around. You got a Glimmer Cape, which is nice. Trying to think. Maybe Force Staff could have been a little bit better positioning wise, but it's no big deal. Like right there, maybe you would have been able to catch up. Got a nice Glimmer Cape, and you're going to look for the finger there. Not going to get it. And just TP out. So nice little TP out. Hanging around. Not doing too bad here. Everything's still going well. Looking for the Broodmother, centering bot lane. And okay, so not doing bad. You guys are split pushing pretty well. Really extending your lead. It looks like you had the kill on that Broodmother. I'm really not sure how this game goes. Now that ward is fine, because that tower's down. You'll have the space there to gank heroes walking around there. The tower's down, so I mean, like, it's not gonna be. You can do it when the tower's up or down. When the tower's up, like, there's potential to get a nice blink stun if they're going to defend it. But I mean, obviously, like, this game they haven't defended anything, so it's not that big of a deal here. But it's a better ward now than it was a lot earlier. You have a lot of vision you're putting towards this bot lane, which I really don't think is necessary. I think you could be warding their jungle, as the enemy jungle is like the biggest point of contention in a game when you're ahead. Just because if you can invade their jungle, you reduce their farm. You get a lot of vision as to, if they're not in their jungle, you know they've got to be elsewhere on the map. Most likely you'll have at least one lane or 2 lanes even pushing where they should be. If they're not there, you know they're smoke ganking or ganking somewhere, or they're, you know, if you're in their jungle and you have top lane and bot lane pushed out, for example, and they're not mid lane, like, you know, they're probably coming to gank you top or something like that. They're Roshaning, perhaps. But just kind of what you have to do to play around with your vision. So I think your team is around the jungle now. They're kind of in the lane, which is a little bit unfortunate. The Bloodseeker should be in the jungle, but if you had a ward like somewhere around here, it would be really, really strong at, you know, making sure this Bloodseeker doesn't die in the jungle. He knows if anybody's going to be entering it. I don't know what that Drow Ranger was doing. Unfortunately, she is going to die there. But if you had a ward there, it would be a little bit safer for them. Looks like you are going to get chased here. Not really sure how this is going to go. You got a Glimmer Cape. Never mind, you're going to be fine. Blinking out. Bloodseeker just doing what he does top lane. Going to get the Unstoppable. But you do lose 2 heroes. And that's where that ward could have come in handy. You're going to grab an Invis Rune. See a couple of heroes. There's the just the finger for the kill. So nice little pick off there. Again, like, these wards bot lane, what are they doing? Like, this one maybe is alright to watch one person rotating down. That's really what you need to see. Is somebody rotating down, is somebody walking to their secret shop, or the ancients. This one, you know, obviously giving you some of that vision as well, but this one, not really necessary. I think one or the other, realistically, is what you need. Top lane, they're going down yet again, mainly because they're trying to push that top lane, and there's no ward coverage to see anybody in the jungle. Either here or here is definitely good. But right now, there's only a brood bot lane, and realistically, if I saw this brood in game, I would say, guys, we have no reason to deal with her. Like, doesn't even matter what's going on with her, because she's like 1k. I don't even know what's happening with that, so don't mean to be rude there, but realistically, you don't have to worry about her. CM just wasting her ultimate a little bit. 60 or 90-second cooldown. Who cares? You're just running around a little bit more. And it seems like you guys are getting a little bit stagnant with your movements, as well as what you're doing with your space. So you have all this ward coverage on the right side. You may as well use it to take a Roshan. And you're not the only player in the game, but like I said, this is when you've got to take the commanding seat. And you've got to say, guys, can we go and take Roshan? Can we do this, that, whatever? This Zeus is absolutely snowballing out of control ridiculously, so realistically somebody should be building a pipe. Maybe you. Aghanim Scepter isn't the greatest on Lion, unless maybe you've got something to bring a bunch of people together. I mean, it could be worse, could be better, whatever. But I think a pipe would have been far more effective this game, especially with both the Lina. Who is she getting an Aghanim? She's nowhere near an Aghanim Scepter. So I think with the Lina, as well as the Zeus, I think pipe would have been absolutely huge in potentially winning you guys this game. So you're warding up on Roche. Should probably put, I think a really solid ward here as well would be over here on Secret Shop. Like right on the steps in front of Secret Shop. Like somewhere around here would be really solid. Here, so again, you've got a lot of wards here. This one is pretty defensive. You probably could have gotten away with one here, and then like one on this side. That would have been pretty solid, and maybe one up here as well, just to get a ton of control from their jungle. Because really, on the off lane, you only need one ward to get as much information as possible, right? Like this one shows you the lane, shows you some of the secret shop, like if they're running this way into it, maybe you can catch a glimpse there. But here you can get this one, which will show you the mid lane around here, and then this one, which will show you this ramp, top lane, this camp, like over here. You'll get a lot of information. So you don't need two bot lane, especially this really, really defensive ward. Like they'll probably never be across this river, or at least at like a higher skill, they shouldn't be. Maybe if they wander around there right now, it's a little bit bad, but you know, we'll see how it works out. We'll just kind of go through it ×2. Not too much going on right now. Just walking around a little bit, and like I said, like they're getting stagnant. They're using their space. The CM and the Skywrath are probably friends, I'd imagine, since they've been sticking together like this entire game, like literally holding hands. Gonna get some nice kills here. Finger's gonna be used again, so nice double kill there, and let's see what they get from it. Do they have anything? So no. So he's got a TP back. They've got to run away. The Zeus is outputting too much damage, and that's another thing. You either need a pipe or a mech. You've got triple Glimmer Cape now, which is like total overkill. Maybe double is good enough, should be good enough. Triple is a little bit too much. Somebody should be grabbing a mech or a pipe just to help deal with that. And instead now you've just got 3 Glimmer Capes, very defensive items, despite you guys being in a very offensive position. So Glimmer Cape is good. I mean, don't get me wrong, even if you are going offensive, but you've got 3 of them, super unnecessary. There's the Zeus, still going absolutely ham. It looks like a 3-for-2 trade, 3-for-4 trade. Somebody finally kills the Zeus. It's the Drow. And now what? Everybody's split up. The Drow's too low, no lifesteal, so she's got poor itemization there, which maybe you should be helping her out with. Tell her to get lifesteal so you guys can do a Roshan. Usually when people hear Roshan, they think Aegis, and hell yeah, everybody wants an Aegis so they can never die, so people will listen to you. She's got a Daedalus now. And again, you guys are back top lane. You've been here forever, but the tower's still not down, so you haven't really made a concerted effort to get the tower. And right there, that's it. Pretty poor positioning because there are no wards. There's this weird ward mid lane, which is not really doing too much. There was no ward here to see them walk in their jungle. No ward here. You guys are getting surrounded. They don't even need the Zeus. He's going to ult and probably bring everybody down to about half, I'd imagine. And where's the ult? Is going to use it in an absolutely disgusting team fight. An ultra kill. And now you have to take a look at your lineup and realize that you can't really go late game here. Like, I know you're saying to yourself, what do you mean we've got a Drow, we've got a Bloodseeker. Lion, not a good late game hero. BKBs absolutely destroy you. CM, not a good late game hero. Same thing. I don't know why she's got an Orchid. BKBs destroy you. Skywrath, BKBs destroy you. All three of you are absolutely squishy. This Zeus, once he has Refresher, is absolutely going to destroy shit, but he's going Dagon Sheepstick. A little bit odd. He's not even going to grab Bloodstone or Octarine Core. Again, this is kind of low, so that's no big deal. But now they're starting to pressure you, and you don't have really anything to do with. Like, yeah, you've got a Bloodseeker and a Drow. Nobody's got an MKB. This guy, if he had an SNY, he'd be unkillable. If he had a Scotty, he'd be pretty much unkillable to your carries. We'll kind of slow it down, see how the next team fights go. But basically, you guys kind of, you have a huge lead, and then you just, like, stagnate your lead. You don't go for a Roshan. You don't go for smoke ganks. You control top lane, but you don't get the tower or control the jungle. You don't get any items to help your fighting. You don't get a mechanism or anything like that. You somehow manage to pick that guy off. You lose your Bloodseeker, though, which is pretty important, in my opinion. We'll go back to player perspective here. Keep watching you. Doing pretty good. Looks like you're finally ready for this tower, and now you have absolutely no map vision. And this is where I imagine another team fight is going to turn south. The Zeus is going to ult. Glimmercape saving him. You are going to die to the Dagon, and that Drow should be dead. I can't believe she's going to live. And that's pretty much it. So there's not much else to say about this. Bloodseeker just going in. Bad move from him. Nothing you can do about that. Another kill there. The Zeus is just going absolutely ham. You guys don't have a pipe, unfortunately. You buy some wards, thankfully, which is nice. You're going to start warding up, and now you're going to need defensive wards because it's very scary for you guys. It seems like the game's pretty much over. I think it lasts another, like, 5 minutes from now. And realistically, there's a couple reasons that I went over, but I can briefly go over them again here. We'll just let it play out by 2 times speed. So we can start with some pros. You played very well early on. You rotated. You won your lane. You did well against the Zeus. You tried to stack there. You didn't quite get it. You probably could have tried to stack a little bit more for your carries when you had the chance. But that's no big deal. I mean, realistically, those are just things you'll start thinking about as you get better. Hopefully I can start like hammering that into your head right now, is that if you've got time, stack for your carries. Especially, what a lot of people don't know is you can pull this, or I'm sure they'd know it if they just thought about it. You can pull this at 53, and you're here by the time the rune spawns. You pull it at 153, 2-minute runes easy. You pull it at 353, 4-minute runes easy. So it's very easy to stack the Ancients and fluidly get your rune. You may as well leave like a few seconds earlier. Sure, you missed some CS, but now you've got a couple Ancient stacks, which is worth well more than like 2 or maybe even 3 CS that you miss. So maybe think about doing that. Try to work on your offensive warding a little bit. Really use the jungle to your advantage. The enemy jungle, like I said, is huge. I think it was Aoi who would talk about Eternal Envy's Clink's play. He would literally just like get a couple items, get a couple levels, whatever, and pretty much just stay in their jungle, because it really does give you so much. If you've got the vision in their jungle, whether it's wards or an invis gank or anything like that, all you really have to think about is they're not in their jungle, they're not in X lane. They've got to be here, most likely here. They could be roshing, could be ganking. It really limits where they could be, and it tells you a lot by not showing you anything, if that makes sense. So a little bit of work on the itemization as well. Maybe telling your team to grab a mech, grabbing one yourself, encouraging your team to play a little bit safer or in a little bit of a different way. You know, invade the jungle. Don't just wait in the lane for 4 heroes to come up behind you and kill you like that. Try to maybe use smokes to your advantage and have a little bit more aggressive warding. But you did play well. I do want to commend you, but I honestly think that a little better aggressive warding, invading their jungle, as well as pressuring more as 5 with like a mech or an Aegis, if you guys would have gotten for Roshan, you probably would have been easily able to close out this game. And unfortunately, Dota is a team game, and you do have to kind of ask your team to do things. They're not going to do it on their own all the time. You do have to convince them to go take a Roshan or to itemize a certain way. Things like that. You do have to think about those things. So do keep that in mind when you're playing a game. Try to take the commanding role. Be the captain. Tell them to Roshan. Tell them, where they should be, where they shouldn't be. I find, honestly, people usually listen to you. Don't be rude about it. Just say, guys, I'm pretty sure they're all top lane. Look, they're missing here and here. And they'll say, oh my god, they are. They'll probably back out. If not, and they die a couple times, then they'll learn their lesson. They'll probably start listening to you. But you did play well, and thank you for sending me this. I was originally going to do like a Dazzle one, but I looked at this Lion game and saw a couple things. And remember, when you get that Blink Dagger, try to surprise them with it as any hero. Legion Commander, Lion, Tidehunter, Enigma. Try to use it. The first time you use it, like, try to ensure a kill so that they don't just see you in lane and then you've got a Blink Dagger and it's like, oh, he's got a Blink Dagger. Everybody be a little bit more careful. You have to try and catch them out while they're playing a little bit greedier because they don't expect the blink. But again, thanks for the game, and hopefully you learned a lot here. I find this game was a lot better than my others that I've gone through so far. But please keep playing Dota, man. You're really good, especially for unranked, and you're only gonna get better. So keep going. Don't get discouraged by anything I said. I am trying to help you out, not trying to be hard on you. But thanks again for sending it in, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. I have my series From Lane to Lane where I just cast some everyday pubs that you guys send me. I also do some more professional pubs like games from Koikva, Miracle, whoever I can get my hands on from Dota Buff. I have a learning series as well, so feel free to check that out. There's some more info in the description as well as some videos linked in the annotations at the end here. Thanks a lot.